All right, everybody, Zaxter99. Guys, I am on itch.io right now, and I am playing a great little indie game that's available for completely free. I'll have the link down to this game down in my description below. Now, this game is called Dire Decks. It's brought to us by a developer called Kinda Nice. I guess he's just kinda nice. He's not super nice. I don't really know. Anyway, guys, it's a pretty fun little game, and you can pick a card here, and it tells you, like, shoot a bullet or shoot multiple bullets or whatever. So you pick one, and you can pick one by either clicking on it or you can hit the QWER keys. Well, let's go ahead and click just to shoot a bullet here. Let's just go ahead and click this one. And once we do that, hang on, there we go. You got to get it started, but then we see like two bullets here, so I'm going to go ahead and hit that Q, and then you can aim and shoot multiple shots. And then we're going to go ahead and do Q again. We get a single shot because that's what the card is. And then we're going to go ahead and do another single shot. We're going to go ahead and hit W here, get some multi-shot here, but I missed. And then once you get so far, you get to choose a new card for shoot 4 piercing bullets, shoot 2 bullets twice, or shoot a love bullet, whatever that is. Let's try that. So you get to trade out a card. So it'll tell you to gain one and then lose one. Okay. So there we go. So now we got this shoot a love bullet. Let's find out what that does. Up. Ah! No! Gotta hurry. Up. I think they're on a cooldown or something. Because it won't let me do some of them. Alright. Anyway, we get a gain one here. Let's do shoot a love bomb. And then pick one to get rid of. Pretty fun little game, like I said. I mean, it's not something that I could sit here and play for hours on end. But it is pretty fun nonetheless. And if you get hit, then you lose the game or whatever. So it's not like you get multiple lives. There's no healing potions or anything like that. It's just pretty simple gameplay, and I think a pretty genius little game by the developer, Kinda Nice Games. Now, this game has been out for over a year and a half here, and it's available completely free by Kinda Nice. It's been on itch.io for a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. Well, now, guys, we have a game. Whatever it is, we see that he just recently launched this game on Steam as an upcoming game. Now, does anybody here see a problem with what we're seeing here? So the only reason I knew about this is because I saw an article on my phone and I was reading it while I was in bed yesterday, or last night rather. And as you can see, once you get so far, you gain a card or shoot a piercing bullet, and then you trade it out for a card. The graphics, the style of the game, almost the UI, everything, the sound effects, almost everything is exactly the same. And I was reading an article, guys, about this. I believe it was on PC Gamer. And what we see going on here is, without a doubt, 100% theft of a game. It's not just making a game that's similar in nature. It's not like me making Rock and Roll, which is similar to, Asteroids because you're shooting rocks, but it has a lot of my own twists and stuff like that. No, this game here, which, like I said, the developer can't decide if he wants to call it Cardboard or Wildcard. So right here, it's called Wildcard. Go to the community hub, it's called Cardboard. But guys, this guy is getting lit up in the discussions here. 6 pages of people basically calling him every name in the book and wishing him the worst. So he decides to clone a game, put it on Steam, and acts like it's no big deal. Because happens every day, homie. Dire Decks creator Kinda Nice is at a loss after a fellow indie dev remade his game and refuses to take it down now. And as you can see, they do look really similar right there. When he started chatting with Terry Brash, the indie game developer Kinda Nice thought he was just swapping tips with a fellow dev. He didn't know that his new acquaintance was going to take his whole game as well. Kinda Nice related his story to PC Gamer over DMs this week and shared screenshots of his conversations with Brash, who did not respond to requests for comment. The two developers first chatted a little over a year ago, so this would be after Dire Decks was put on itch.io. And Kinda Nice was a fan of Brash's game run, or gun run, And Brash was a fan of Kinda Nice's game Dire Decks, the game we just played, a deck building shooter combo published on itch.io. The developer swapped some coding knowledge, and Brash invited Kinda Nice to his game dev Discord server. A year passed, and then this week, Brash sent Kinda Nice a Discord DM to share some cool news. He had cloned his Dire Decks game in a new engine, added some new features, and recalled it Wildcard, and put it on Steam under his own name. Now, this isn't one of those gray area situations where one game derives its basic design from another and brings its own look and spirit to the table and maybe new features, and does some things a lot differently. For example, there's dozens of Vampire Survivor-like clones that come to mind. The games are visually almost identical, and Brash himself called Wildcard a rewrite or a clone of Dire Decks when he introduced it to Kinda Nice. Kinda Nice was taken aback. He was flattered, perhaps, but he was still confused. He asked Brash if he thought that it was okay, that he really thought it was okay to take the art and concept of Dire Decks and put it on Steam under his no name without getting permission first. And Brash seemed to be taken aback. He pointed out the code was original and he'd redrawn the artwork, and asked if Kinda Nice wanted an inspiration credit. Bro, there's inspiration and then there's blatantly copying an entire game, Kinda Nice replied. The question of whether copyright law protected Dire Decks came up, and Brash wasn't sure it did, but admitted he wasn't a lawyer. Kinda Nice felt he had a case, but changed tactics and told Brash that regardless of what the law says, copying as a game just wasn't a cool thing to do, and that his other developer friends were shocked and weirded out by it. And Brash says, "I'm confused. What's weird here? I like the game, so I made a clone with extra stuff. That happens every day, homie." That's fucked up. Kinda Nice asked Brash to remove Wildcard from Steam, and Brash simply refused. Kinda Nice then suggested that Brash's reputation would be harmed when the public found out what he'd done, but Brash didn't budge. And he said, "The decision's been made. I accept my fate." And that was the last direct communication between the two developers. On June 3rd, Kinda Nice stated publicly about the situation on Twitter, or X now. He says, "Terry Brash copied my game Dire Decks and is releasing it on Steam under a different name without my permission," said the developer. "I've tried to get him to take it down, but he's unwilling to do so. Not sure what to do next in this situation." So this is his post right here on X. My game, yeah, we saw that it's so similar. Terry's game, exactly the same thing. Exactly the same art style, exactly the same mechanics, exactly the same thing where you pick a new card and replace the old card. Sound effects are almost identical. Brash continued to promote Wildcard on X after being called out by Kinda Nice. He also posted an edit clip of the Bold and Brash SpongeBob episode in which his profile picture is dropped in the trash. I'm not sure precisely what he meant by that, but Wildcard remains listed on Steam with a demo, and Brash has said that it will be free when it releases. Kinda Nice is currently working on his own expanded Steam version of Dire Decks. He's considering making a copyright claim against Wildcard, but he'd still prefer if Brash would just remove his game, because, it's the right thing to do it voluntarily. You can find the current version of Dire Decks and Kinda Nice's other games on itch.io page. So that's the article I read, and then, I came to look at it today, and I can't believe how similar in nature there are. Yeah, this is 100% deliberately just not attacking, but copying a game, an existing game, entirely. You could change the colors a little bit, but I mean, like I said, the art styles are exactly identical. Everything about this new game is stolen. It's not just saying, like I said, it's not like making a Call of Duty clone where you're making a FPS shooter or whatever, and a lot of things are completely different. No, this is absolutely copying a game. But yeah, guys, I don't want to promote this game here called Wildcard or Hardbard or whatever the hell this guy's going to call it. But Terry Brash is kind of known for doing this. He has another history of doing this with Teeny Survivors, which he launched back right before Christmas of 2023. He has this game right here. And this game right here is not his own work. This guy actually, Teeny Survivors, I believe, is a game called Teeny Rogues. And as you can see, he made this game for free copying Tiny Rogues, a game that came out that's a $10 game. I actually have this game in my library, and he 100% copied this game. But now, Tiny Rogues, I'll have a link down to this game down in my description as well. This game right now has all overall reviews of 97% positive, over 6,800 reviews. And even though it's a $10 price tag game, it's very much well worth it. And then we have this fucking Terry Brash guy coming along and, 100% copying the Tiny Rogues game. And I think that's why he's mostly getting negative reviews here on Steam. So, yep, this is a stolen game made by the plagiarist developer who has a history of plagiarism. So there you guys go, rip-off artist. So this is at least the second game that he's deliberately stolen and posted on Steam. Some people say, well, what's the harm in it? He's making his games free. He's making his game free, and the other one's $10, so I'd play Teeny Survivors. But really? Like, who would say that? Who wants to, support some kind of a thief, right? That's like that would be kind of like saying, hey, this guy went and robbed the bank, and he gave me $20 of that money that the thousands he stole. So I like this guy. This is a good guy. He gave me $20 of the stolen money. Well, this is a stolen game, so just because he's giving it away free doesn't make him a good developer or doesn't make the game good. It's a stolen game. It's a stolen concept. It's stolen everything from Tiny Rogues. And now he's doing the same thing again with Dire Decks from itch.io. I would love to know what you guys have to say about all this, though. If you would want to go ahead and chime in, I will have links to both the legitimate games. I'll have links down to Tiny Rogues and to Dire Decks over on itch.io if you guys would like to support these legitimate developers who aren't just copying ideas and concepts down to the T, like this fucking trash ass Terry Trash. It would be a good name for this guy, Terry Brash. But I think he appropriately has the name of Terry Brash. And do you guys think that his new game coming out, that's copying Dire Decks, you think it's going to fail miserably because of all the backlash? I think it probably will. And I would love to know what you guys have to say, though. Be sure you comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of all this. And we'll see you in the next video, everybody. Take care.